and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a bit of a chat. I feel like I haven't sat down and filmed in front of the camera in forever, and I was planning on doing it this weekend anyway, and then this topic came up and I was like, yay, I need to talk about that. Well, it wasn't really yay, it was like, oh, I need to talk about that because it's a bit of a serious topic. So I was on Instagram the other day and I saw one of the girls that I follow, Anna Nurin. She had like these email screenshots. She uploaded these email screenshots from some guy called Russel Marsh. And she was like, oh my god, the same guy that contacted Habiba contacted me. And I was like, what? Because this guy contacted me as well. This was like at the beginning of March. So I went onto Habiba's page and like the latest link to her video was contacted by the Illuminati. So I was really confused because this guy contacted me but like didn't mention anything about the Illuminati or anything. So I decided to watch Habiba's video and like I was seriously freaked out. Because the same thing happened to me, but it wasn't like to the extent that it was with her, and I think they contacted her last year, whereas this guy emailed me at the beginning of March, and I'll explain what happened. But I saw on her comments that like loads of other bloggers have been contacted, and like I wanted to make this video because I, like as a warning I guess, because at the back of my head I'm like, either it is the Illuminati and they want to like infiltrate like the hijabi blogger community, which is really unlikely, but you never know, or it's like, the thing that really scares me is that it's somebody who doesn't like Muslims or doesn't like hijabi girls and like is contacting all of these girls in the hope that maybe somebody will come meet him, and like I'm really scared that it's going to end really badly. So I guess I just wanted to do a little video to talk about it because it is quite serious, and you know, as much as we all think we're clued on and we know what we're doing online, sometimes we don't, because like I kind of did believe this, and I'll show you guys why. I'm not stupid or anything. Like when I investigate, I go to FBI level, like I really look at things. So like I had a look at everything and it looked legit, and then like I didn't even, like I left it, and I'll tell you why I left it. But at the back of my head I wasn't sure if it was like fake or not, and then obviously now this has come up, I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. Right, so I will tell you how it started. So I got a message, I'll put in screenshots with all of these things. I got a message, hold on, from somebody on Instagram, some girl on Instagram called B Hingle. Like that's her Instagram page, and like I went through it. Like I'm not gonna respond to somebody if I think it's a fake page. She has like legit followers, she follows people, and then I like looked through her pictures and like she just tagged some of her friends, so I like clicked on their pages and they were real. So like as far as the account was concerned, you guys can check it out as well yourself, it's BHINGLE. As far as I was concerned, this account was real. So the first message that she sent me was on the 2nd of March. And it was, hello Sebinaah, my name is Brittany and I work for the Vogue Scouting Enterprise Network and we're interested in what you have to offer. Do you have an email address where you can be sent an opportunity directly from Vogue UK by Russel Marsh? Thank you. So obviously I responded, I was like, yeah, this is my email address, send me an email. Then she was like, email has been sent, please reply now, ASAP. Also, please bear in mind that Russel Marsh is the most influential man in fashion and rarely contacts models individually, so this is a big deal, and be as respectful as possible. So at that point I was a little bit confused, because I like when I initially got contacted, I thought maybe it's like for styling or for something like that, not for modelling. Like I'm fucking 5'2" and I have a pot belly, so that's not going to happen, and plus it's not something that I want to do anyway. And then she was like, just be as respectful as possible. So I was a bit like, if you're emailing me on Instagram, why don't you just email me on my Hotmail? And like my email address at the time was in my bio, so they could have easily got it from there. So anyway, then like a couple of hours later, I didn't get the email, so I was like, you know, I don't seem to have received anything yet. She was like, check your junk mail. That should have sent alarm bells ringing. Why would the email, like if I email you now, it's not going to go to your junk mail and vice versa. So unless this guy was sending these emails to like hundreds of people, why else would it go in the junk mail? So anyway, moving on to the emails. So the email address, like it was a legitimate email address. It was Russell at voguemagazine.uk. See, now I'm looking at it like it's .uk. Well, at the time I just thought it was .co.uk. What I did was I checked the domain user, because what you can do is if you have the domain name, you can see who it's like registered to, and it was registered to Russel Marsh. Like it was registered in January this year, but I thought maybe that's when they renewed it or whatever, because the guy was asking for my number in the emails. Like I'm not gonna hand that over if it's not legit. And it was like, this is Russel Marsh, we've decided to contact you after an 8-month-long scouting and deliberation period and have an exciting proposition for you with new to be released Vogue Arabia. At that point I was like, okay, maybe they do want like people who are part of like the modest fashion industry to be involved, that's why, because otherwise, like, why would you get an email from Vogue? This information is confidential. I'd like to discuss it on this. I would not like to discuss it on this platform, so please provide a contact number with WhatsApp enabled so I may personally discuss this opportunity with you. Please do not release any news or information on this opportunity before this is thoroughly discussed. I hope I've made the right decision in emailing you and supplying you with this chance to potentially join the biggest organisation in the fashion industry. I hope this email has positively surprised you. He then included a link to his page, and like obviously I clicked on it, read up about it. So I don't really know like if this guy's pretending to be Russel Marsh or if it is Russel Marsh and he's part of the Illuminati. So then obviously like I was like, okay, here's my number, message me, let's see how this goes. And then bearing in mind that like this is like a professional proposal, the messages were quite late in the evening, which at the time I didn't clock, but like you don't do that. If it's business, you do it in business hours. So this was on the 2nd of March at 8:43. So that should have been a sign. I told my other half and he was like, oh, if you want to do it, like it's up to you, but just be careful because there's weirdos out there. And like then I felt like such an idiot afterwards when all of this came to light. But I'll show you like the screenshot of the messages. It was like really rude. I can't stand rude people. When somebody's rude to me, my whole tone and attitude just changes and I'm like, you want to be rude? Let's be rude. But obviously I couldn't because I was like, I don't know what this is, I don't know what's happening. But I felt like he came across really rude. And then the other thing, there was no WhatsApp picture. That's the first thing I check when I check somebody's WhatsApp. But there was no WhatsApp picture. So that was a bit like, why? Also the number that I got contacted off, I will put it down below, but it's not the same number that people got contacted off. It's a completely different number, which is making me now think, because you know WhatsApp, like if you say I've got my SIM in, I can like register it to your number, like if you text me the code or whatever. So you don't need loads of different SIMs, you need other people, but you don't need to have that number there. So it's very easy to change the number through WhatsApp. So it's like, hello Sebinaah, this is Russel Marsh. And then that was it, like no further messages. So I was like, hi, thanks for reaching out, how are you? And it's like, fine, full stop. Are you free and uninterrupted to discuss this? Which I thought was really weird. We're WhatsApping. Why does it bother you what I'm doing? I could be doing anything I like. As long as I'm responding to your messages, what's the big deal? So then obviously I was like, no, I'm in the middle of something, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay, cool, I'm free to talk. And he's like, and then he said again, are you free and uninterrupted to discuss this? God, my eyelashes annoying me. I was like, yes. And he was like, now, question mark, will you keep this confidential? At this point, I really wanted to respond and be like, if you want me to keep this confidential, you need to get me to sign a non-disclosure agreement, because otherwise legally I can say what the hell I like, which is what I'm doing right now. So I wanted to be like, if you want me to keep it confidential, give me an NDA. But I didn't, so I was like, yes I will. And then it was like, do you enjoy modelling? So I was a bit like, this is a bit of a weird question. Like, when the email came through, that's not the first thing that came to my mind. I don't model, I get asked by like, when I go to events and stuff, I've been asked so many times, do catwalk, to like model stuff on the catwalk. That's just not me, I just don't like that. Like, I take pictures of my outfits, I do them in my own comfort zone with people that I'm comfortable with. So don't really see myself as a model. And obviously I said that, and then he's like, so you wouldn't model for a career? And then obviously I was like, look, my religious and cultural restrictions would make it difficult. In addition to this, my height and my weight are necessary classes model material. And then he was like, I am aware of your dimensions. Which I was like, how are you aware of my dimensions? Like, I have a pot belly, it's really bad. Whenever I take pictures of my Instagram, I always like make sure I cover it, like suck it in a whiff. So I was like, dude, how can you be aware of my dimensions? Like, unless you are stalking me, you wouldn't, because like in my pictures I make sure that my belly is covered. So yeah, like just carried on, like it was just like, I don't know, he was like, oh, I'm aware of your dimensions, but I worry about your moral restrictions. And I was like, and then I got really defensive because I was like, who the hell are you? Like, you're messaging me, you want to work with me on something, and yet you're like trying to, I don't know, I just got really annoyed because I was like, I felt like he was trying to make me say something that would go against like my religious or moral beliefs. So, and then I was like, well, that is something to worry about because it's not something I would compromise on, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, oh, this opportunity will probably make you go against your moral restrictions, so don't think it's in your best interest. At this point, I was really curious because I was like, what the hell does this guy want? So I was like, would you be able to provide me some further information so that I can make an informed decision at least? And then he was like, I don't think you would be willing to model for Vogue and earn millions. Yes, but alter your fashion style to a much tighter look. To shoot for Vogue Arabia and UK, but to represent a westernized tighter look. at this point I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, I was really, really confused, because westernized does not mean tighter. You can get loads of Western clothes that are not tight, that are loose. You can get Western clothes that cover your body fully. But if you're modelling, you are, especially like editorial, you're there, you've got like guy doing your makeup, guy doing your hair or your scarf. You're in and out of outfits really quick. You have to be able to strip in front of anyone and everyone. It's not something that like a Muslim woman can do. So I'm just like, what is this guy trying to get at? So I was like, okay, would it involve removing my scarf? He was like, no. However, you must be willing to reveal your figure a bit to a casting director like myself. And then at this point I was like, fuck you. I was so angry. And then he was like, you seem tempted. And I was like, no, unfortunately that's not something I'm comfortable with. And then I just kind of deaded it there. Then 3 days later, I should have blocked this guy, but I didn't. And 3 days later, on the 5th of March, he messaged me going, hello Sebinaah, what size feet are you? I blanked him. And then again the next day, just a message saying hello. The number's been blocked now, and like, obviously, I haven't heard any further from him. But I kind of just ignored it, put it at the back of my head. I didn't really talk about it to anyone. Just because I don't, like, about Instagram and stuff, like work opportunities or work with Instagram, I don't really discuss them with anyone apart from like my parents or my other half. And I didn't want to tell my parents, because as much as they support me with everything I do, my mum's always like, you're putting yourself out on the internet, like blah blah blah. She's not 100% happy with it, so I didn't want to tell them about this like weirdo messaging me. And I was going to tell my other half, and he was like, that's why you have to be careful, blah blah blah. So I didn't want that same lecture from anybody else, but I put it at the back of my head, and I didn't really think about it until I saw Habiba's video. And now I'm just like, he's contacted me, he's contacted her, he's contacted Anna Noor, and there was 2 other vloggers that mentioned on Habiba's video that he'd contacted, and that's 5 girls already that I know of. But unless Habiba had made the video, I would not have known about it. And like, I kind of feel bad, because if she hadn't and I hadn't, and it carried on, and like somebody did eventually agree to whatever he was asking for and want to meet him, and either like he would give them a bad name or the community a bad name, or like it could end really badly if this guy is really a fake. Like, I just don't really know what's going on here. Nothing about the Illuminati or anything like that was mentioned. Obviously he did say you can earn millions, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, of course I can. But I guess I wanted to do this video just to let you guys kind of know my experience, just because it was quite different to Habiba's. Although it was the same guy, it was a different time, and the way that I was contacted initially was different, and I kind of deaded the conversation before it got any further. But you know, I think we all think we're so clued up and we know everything and we're so smart, but we don't know the people out there. You know, you don't know who's behind an email and who's behind a number, so it's so important to be careful. And especially like if you're blogging and stuff like that, and like companies contact you and you give out your address or you give out your number, that could be anyone, and it is dangerous. And like, I just think we all need to be a little bit smarter about what we do online. But yeah, that is today's video. If you like it, if you thought it was interesting, give it a thumbs up. I will try and do some more like chit chat videos with you guys soon when I have exciting topics to talk about. I have been vlogging this weekend as well, so inshallah the vlog will go up on Wednesday. And yeah, let me know any other videos that you want to see below, and I shall see you all soon inshallah.